Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Taurus is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a 10 of Swords gets us started today. 10 of Swords is a card called Ruin, right? I feel, Taurus, that sometimes, you don't really know when to, quit, I feel like you have such a, kind of that stereotypical stubbornness of a Taurus. I feel like you have this tremendous ability to commit, and it doesn't always work out in the best way for you. You're kind of you're very steadfast. You persevere, but I feel like sometimes we feel an obligation to something. We don't know when to pull away. We don't know when to. 10 of Swords just kind of end something. I don't know if endings are what are in store for you. That's not what this card's really saying. I feel like this is saying more about us understanding when we're just trying to kind of save something that's not able to be saved. I feel like there is a lot more coming for you. So if there is a big change coming, if there is an ending of something, it's a transition that's going to allow you more freedom, more expansion. I kind of look at the 10 of Swords as the bird cage, that sometimes we're in the bird cage, sometimes we know it, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we try not to think about it. Other times we feel as if I need to stay here because I can change it from the inside, and I could somehow make it better if I just stay here and keep working at it, But either way, outside the birdcage, you can spread your wings, but there's also more danger. There's also more uncertainty. You think of a little bird, in a birdcage. These kind of, domestic birds, I guess, like little parakeets and finches and things. I don't know that if they're kind of raised from very young, from, eggs, I don't know that you can just kind of let them out of the cage, right? I don't know that they would really know what to do exactly. I'm sure they would figure it out eventually. The instincts would kick in. But it's kind of, it's a little bit of a catch-22. Inside the birdcage, there is safety, security. There is, it's comfortable, it's familiar. Outside the birdcage is more freedom, more opportunity. Could be opportunities for great, wonderful, marvelous, tremendous things. But also there's more danger. There's more responsibility on ourselves, right? And so I think that, you're somebody right now who is trying to figure out if something is worth fighting for or keeping or working on, or if you're going to be better off spreading your wings, right? We need to look at some more cards, so let's put some down on the table. 10 of Swords to begin, crossed by, Tower moment. The Tower moment, yeah, this is a card that really says you have all the power here. We think of this as, Thor's hammer, And it really is an unstoppable force within you, okay? You have the power to change something if you're not happy with it, comfortable with it, if you're not vibing with it anymore, right? So I feel like this card is talking about the abrupt change. This is something that might be quite familiar to you right now, that it's a feeling that the slow, gradual changing something from the inside is not working. Maybe this card is saying, I just need to do something big, something major. It needs to be a clean break. It needs to be a rather quick decision. It needs to kind of come off like a Band-Aid real fast, rather than something slow and gradual. And over time, it will change and become something that I like. But until then, I'm just going to kind of suffer through it. Where this card, the Tower, is saying, it's just got to be quick. Yeah. So I feel like there's something major going on in the next, let's say, the next month. Okay. And it could be that you're already thinking. I think with the Ten of Swords, you're already going through this kind of process, this thought process, wondering about things, right? Let's keep going with our cards. Let's see, what is it underneath the surface here? Two of Cups. Well, we could be talking about a romantic relationship. We could be talking about a friendship. We could be talking about a family thing. We could be talking about a relationship that you have with yourself, a relationship you have with God, goddess, deity, with spirit, with source. Or a relationship you might have with your employer, or with the industry that you're in, or the work that you do itself. It may not be a specific person, but just this kind of life, this thing that I'm in, What you really want is the thing that resonates with you, okay? And I think that what you're in now, whatever the Ten of Swords situation is, if it's a relationship, a family thing, a friendship, if it is your association with a particular group, or if it's just kind of your work life kind of thing, or anything else, I feel as if it doesn't have the resonance that you're really looking for, because something is needing to change here. And I think that this month, something major this month. And I think we're preparing for it right now. It's kind of like with the Ten of Swords, it's almost as if we're talking ourselves through it, that we're working it out, and we're kind of, we're trying to calm ourselves down even in a way and say, this is something that needs to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to be okay. This is for the best. I need to do this. Because underneath it all, the Two of Cups says, this is what you want. This is what your heart is yearning for, this kind of connection with something. And maybe this is just saying that the sports team that you're rooting for, you don't feel it in your heart for them. And you're kind of thinking about switching over to, a different, maybe a different sport altogether. But maybe you're going to give your allegiance to a different team, right? This could be anything like that. It could be you wanting to kind of switch the brand of cereal that you eat, or the water that you drink. It doesn't have to be absolutely life-changing, although the cards seem to suggest that it's very fundamental. So it doesn't seem like it's just a minor detail, like, I kind of want a different brand of socks now, No, this feels like I need to kind of take my life in a different direction altogether, Socks or no socks, because it's a 2. It's very simple. It's very close to source. If this were a 9 or a 10 of cups, then maybe we'd say, it's some particular detail of your life. I feel like this is life generally. So to me, it feels like a very major consideration that you are kind of in the middle of contemplating, right? Let's keep going. Let's see what the past energy is. Five of Swords. It's not the first time that you've had this discussion with yourself. I feel also that there's been some conflict inside this situation. Let's say this is a work thing. I feel like this is kind of, it's almost like you kind of feel an outcast. You kind of feel like you don't really mesh well in this situation, whether it's a work thing, maybe it's in the relationship, a family thing, that there's just not a lot of harmony even in the communication. And maybe there's been a lot of misunderstandings. Maybe this is a card that says you have fundamental issues with like core values, right? Between the Five of Swords and the Two of Cups. Maybe there's a core fundamental conflict here that really you and this other thing don't cherish the same ideals or the same issues, life issues, social issues. You don't have the same set of principles. There's some sort of very fundamental conflict or disagreement. Okay, we're going to do another card. Card of Change, Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is usually harmonious change. And it's harmonious not because it's going to be so easy. No, it's harmonious because we know that it's not going to be so easy. But with the 5 and the 10 and the Tower, it feels like this is a change that even if the next card we get is something terrible, right? Maybe it's the Moon card even. Not that the Moon card's terrible, but it shows this kind of uncertain, scary kind of future that we don't know. Even if that is the future card here, I feel like this is a change that it's kind of anywhere but here. You know, if there is that core fundamental difference, now we've got 2 and 2, right? If there is this core fundamental difference, it seems like there's only, it's a very, almost one of these, you know, and I don't say this often, it feels like a very black and white choice. It's either you stay or you go. You know, I don't usually sense those very distinct, mutually exclusive possibilities. It's either you stay or you go. You can't do both. Because sometimes it's like, well, maybe we can change little things here and there, make it a little bit better, make it easier. We can implement some new ideas or, you know. In this case, it seems that there's just a fundamental disagreement. You don't agree with their values or something like that. So the 2 of Pentacles is that kind of black and white choice, okay? And we know that even if the future is uncertain and scary and we fail or whatever, it doesn't work out the right way, it's better to try and fail than to not try, right? But I think that's kind of that's the dilemma that we're working toward. And I feel that this is one of those rare cases where it is just kind of these 2 options and we're just yes or no, or yes or no, right? Maybe we should do, before we get to the future card, let's spin the yes-no coin. I don't usually bring out the yes-no coin. You may see it on my table very often, but I don't often employ this, but we're going to do it now. And this is just a simple yes-no, and I want you to formulate a question in your mind or out loud or write it down or whatever. And then we'll spin the coin. Okay, just to see what the kind of trend is here. Okay, and depending on how you formulate the question, yes or no can mean whatever you want it to mean. Okay, that's not my place to decide, so we're going to spin this. It looks like it has settled on yes. It has settled on yes, the affirmative. I don't know if you can see that. So we'll leave that up here too. Maybe we need that. But let's see what the future card is. Yeah. Let me switch the camera for you. Ace of Pentacles. See, now, I mean, this doesn't really give us the answer, right? But it does show that a decision has been made. What was fundamentally, it seems, you know, this mutually exclusive, this dichotomy, the black or white issue here. It seems that there's a resolution. It seems that you're finding the way forward. So I feel like this is a major change coming, and I think this month. I think it's going to happen, you know, it's something that you're going to make this decision sooner rather than later, okay? And we're going to see the path of the serpent, but I feel like when this decision is made, there's this idea of committing to it. So I want to see some fixed earth energy. I want to see your power card. Something that shows, hey, we're sticking to this even if it's difficult, and part of us wants to kind of go back. You know, we need some fortitude here, some perseverance. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown, and we're just going to set it down over here. We're going to put Jimbo, the Lizard King, aka Mr. Lizard, right there on top. You know, maybe we should switch out the Guardian of the Mystery card. You know what? Trying to keep everybody in line over here to give everybody a fair turn. I think they got a little bit out of order. So, we did Mr. Dow, we did Jimbo. Now let's go, well, I think we did Kevin before that too. So I guess now, we did Mr. Ed before Kevin, didn't we? So I guess now it's Alien, Simon Mork Ripley's turn. How about that? We'll do Alien, then we'll go to Bob, then we'll go to Frankenduck, and Kelly and Mr. Ed again. Back to Kevin, Mr. Dow, and Jimbo. How does that sound, everybody? We like it? Okay. So that's the mystery card. We're not going to look at that until the end. But it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. You know the drill, right? We're going to do the Path of the Serpent. As we do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It helps out the channel tremendously. I really appreciate that. Let's get this channel up to 300K, you know. Anyway, I appreciate you. I love you. Let's continue with the cards. General energy, 10 of Cups. See, now we've got the details. Now we've got all the, you see, the 2 of Cups was very fundamental, very close to source. It said there was this fundamental difference. And I think with the 10 of Cups here in your general energy, you're agreeing with me. You're saying, yeah, the little details don't matter to you. If somebody likes a different cereal than you like, or they like a different kind of movie or music, it doesn't matter to you. What matters to you, I believe, is the fundamental beliefs, the core values, the lifestyle, or the kind of, maybe it's a spiritual thing, maybe there's a fundamental difference in spirituality. Not that you care about the details, though. You're not somebody that says, well, I'm not going to date somebody of a different religion or something like that. I think you're open to everything. You want to just consume a spiritual knowledge, gnosis, experience. But it's almost the difference between somebody who has a very strong connection with spirit and somebody who really doesn't have any kind of spiritual practice at all. That, to me, is a fundamental difference. But you don't care about the details about which deities are worshipped or which ancestors are, are around, or spirit guides, or, what gods or goddesses are important to someone. So, this could be, it's starting to look like it might be an interpersonal thing. Maybe it's a friendship. Maybe it's a romantic thing. Maybe we'll see with the next card. But with the water energy, I feel like these are fundamental, almost desires in life. So it seems like core values, or like a mission statement kind of thing. So maybe it's a disagreement with an employer. Maybe it's a fundamental conflict with just an employer says, I just don't believe in the work. I don't believe in what this company does or how they do it. And there's no detail really about it. It's just they've got this very different outlook on life than I do. And it's one that's not compatible. But I feel with the 10 of Cups that you're very open to people with different opinions and different ideas and different desires, different interests. See, these are cups, right? So I feel like you really do, you're someone that really enjoys someone who is into different things. When you have friends or you have romantic relationships, you want somebody to have different taste in movies, in food, in music, right? In someone that likes a different season of the year than you. Because you like that kind of diversity. You like that experience. It's like, I very much, well, I don't know. It's hard. I don't even remember now, because now I prefer the cold, the snow, But sometimes I would prefer like beach weather. I just want to be at the beach. I want to be in the sun. But our tastes change, especially when we are exposed to new things, right? I never lived in snow before. I lived in California my whole life up until a few years ago, and I moved here to the Midwest, kind of in the north where I am now, of the United States. And we didn't have snow where I was in California. I lived pretty much in the desert, right? I grew up in the Bay Area, but then I moved to the Central Valley. So Fresno, Modesto area, right? Hot, dry, all the time. And I kind of got used to that. And then I started longing for the snow. I just said, I wish I could just move somewhere where it was cold all the time, right? I've always had fantasies of going to Alaska. And then I moved, to the north, Midwest, and there's snow here in the winter times, and I love it. And now when we're in the middle of winter, I start to kind of think, oh, I miss the warm, sunny days, So my point, anyway, is that you have a very, very eclectic taste in things. I feel like the more you're exposed to in life, the more you kind of like more things, You're finding out a lot of things that, may be very different from what you usually enjoy, but you're finding that you enjoy them. Somebody who always just action movie. someone introduces them to some romantic comedy and they're like, hey, I like romantic comedy now too, you know? And I feel, anyway, that's just your general energy. I feel like your life has been one of continued exposure to new things, and you like that. And that's not what this is about. This is something fundamental. And so I like that we have the Ten of Cups here as kind of a commentary on the Two of Cups, just kind of a reinforcement of what we were saying there. In your environment, Ace of, oh, goodness gracious. I think what you're doing is you're leaving this situation. We're taking another step that's going to bring us to that unity. Because see, with the twos here, and the Two of Cups means kind of this exchange. It means love. It's the glue that holds everything together. But you need a change in that because I feel like you're not feeling that glue in this situation. And I'm looking at the two as being not a unity. I'm looking at the two, both of these twos, as being a separation. As we just can't mix. We can't get together. But now with that ace, now see we got the two twos, we got the two aces, okay? The two aces now are telling me that you're making whatever move you have to make in order for these two to become one. And that, I think, is when you're on the same page as somebody else. You have this fundamental core kind of overlap. Even though all the details may be changing, all the details don't matter. It's not about those. It's not about all the Ten of Cups. You like the Ten of Cups. You like a job or a friend or a romantic partner that has all these different interests, as long as the kind of the core is one that you can harmonize with. It doesn't have to be identical to you, right? But one where there is a chance for togetherness, a chance for unity, a chance for this intertwining of things. But it's, if you're oil and water, no matter how much you try, it's just not going to happen. Okay? Let's do another card. What is the obstacle? The obstacle seems to be the Princess of Cups here. And I think this is it. This is the challenge, right? And in some sense, this card, yes, this card is in the position of the hopes and fears kind of thing. It's the card that we don't want, but we actually need. And I feel like this is a reminder that this water energy will manifest in myriad ways. Okay, the Princess of Cups, in another sense, is the fish in the percolator, the synchronicities, the signs and symbols. This is a rich imagination. This is an active dream life. Okay, and I feel like this is related to the decision that we're trying to make. We're over here in this tower, in this Ten of Swords, in this conflict, in this kind of consideration of what to do. And the important thing that we need is to remember what kind of life we want, what kind of life we are dreaming for, Otherwise, we settle for this, and the Princess of Cups never gets fully realized, never actually gets activated. Okay? So this is the card of us recognizing our dreams and working toward manifesting them. So it really is this. This is the motivation to then change this. Okay? So it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going from this situation, we're getting out of that, and we're going right into another one. That's not really what it means. It means we're getting out of that so we have the possibility of getting the one we really want, whether it's a job, a friendship, a lifestyle, maybe it's a location, maybe it's a certain geographical, climate or something that you want. But I guess we have to realize what it is that we truly do want so we know where to go from here. I think you're recognizing what you don't want. You know what's not working. Then we have to really do the work to find out what kind of thing will work or may work. What should I try next? But let's see what the final outcome card is here. Stability, 4, right? 4 of Pentacles. And I think the Four of Pentacles, it's kind of suggested by a 2 and a 2 here, kind of gives us a 4. I think the Four of Pentacles is suggesting that we can have that kind of stable connection, that stable life that we want, okay? And I feel like this is really the promise of a materialization of some of these aces. See, I was worried that we would get like, something scary, like a moon card, or the future position card, instead of being the Ace of Pentacles, would be like a 3 or a 9 of Swords or something, right? And something that made us think, ooh, well, maybe I don't want to leave the situation I'm in if I'm moving towards something worse, right? But what we see is that you're not moving towards something worse. You're moving towards something else. We don't know what it is yet. It's not materialized. It's just now, it's a possibility, right? Over here, there was no possibility because we're stuck in there. But over here now, we can manifest these aces. And I think the Four of Pentacles is the manifestation of this, saying that your decision here is going to bring more safety, security, and stability to your life. And it's going to create a vessel, I believe, that can support, or that can house this water energy. Okay, and the Four of Pentacles is also a bit of this perseverance, a bit of this steadfast energy. It is the Sun in Capricorn, so it's recognizing what you are building, recognizing that we're going to have to push and do the work and make these changes and seek out that which we truly do desire for our life. And it's not always going to be easy. And as long as we recognize that and we keep pushing through even when there is a bit of a struggle, then we can get this sort of foundation. We can get this, magic. I want to know what the mystery card is. Because this is kind of the foundation that you're creating, just getting out of this other situation and getting to a stable place, right? Getting things settled in this kind of new way, getting accustomed to this new way of doing things, or this new place, or getting accustomed now to being out of that, right? From this home base, from this foundation, then, we can pursue these higher aspirations. We can pursue this life that we really, truly do want. As long as we know what that is. That's the Princess of Cups. Let's look at the mystery card. Well, we get the 9 or the 10 of Pentacles. And a 10 of Pentacles would be great because it would house this 10 of Cups that we really want. I mean, I think this is part of what we actually want. So I'm expecting something pretty far down the tree, a 9 or a 10 of something. It also could be that 8 of Cups. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Here we go. The Magician. The Magician is wonderful. The Magician is able to, take the 4 elements, right, and create with those elements the reality that it wants. So by achieving your 4 of Pentacles, just a kind of baseline stability, we're away from this situation and we're getting settled on our own somewhere, or we're getting settled in this kind of new life, or this new way of doing things. And these achievements, these resources, these building blocks that we've just established, we can then use those to create the life that is closer to our heart's ideal, our spiritual reality. Yeah, and this is a card of magic, and this is a card of the card of kind of taking control, taking power, following the divine guidance towards something, not letting the mind convince you to stay here because it's safe over here, you're comfortable over here. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's not so bad. You have to follow your intuition, follow your divine guidance, follow the divine light. And this card is also about adaptability. And so if you're able to adapt in this situation here and just kind of be okay with it, right? At least in a functional way, then you'll be able to adapt to a life away from that. Even if the life away from that is kind of starting from the bottom, you have the resilience and the adaptability to adapt to that new play. Let's say let's say you're in a relationship. You've been in a relationship for a while, but you're coming to the realization that it's not working and there's no resonance there, right? So, but over the years, you've adapted to that relationship and you've been making it work, right? At least in that functional way. And then you decide to go a different way. And then maybe you get your own place, or you're living this life now where maybe it's just you and your pets and your plants or something, or you get some roommates, whatever. There's a new situation, right? The Four of Pentacles is that new situation. And the Magician is you being able to work within that new situation, whatever it is, and adapt to it, right? So if you've adapted to this, you can adapt to that. But this, I think, gives you more of an opportunity. It's more of a springboard into the kind of future that you want, into the kind of relationship or job or life or location, whatever it may be. Okay? So I think that you're preparing for something major, and I think this month is going to be very important to you. I know we're more than halfway through the month now, but I feel like sometime in the next couple weeks, 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks, all of this is going to come about for you. All right. Now we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, click on the link in the corner, or there's one down below. New readings for Taurus every Monday and Friday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free, doesn't cost anything. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.